This is video 95 on a MicroPython LVGL embedded solution. In today's video, we show you how to build your own smart touchpad. You will be able to easily customize the menu items and apps. Our device is a WaveShare ESP32-S3 Touch-LCD-1.69 device. By using a short USB adapter and inserting the device into a 3D printed case, we get a smart touchpad integrated to our laptop or desktop. As you can see, the software is running and exchanging messages between the desktop and the smart touchpad. The touchpad menu is shown. It's the first of 4 menus, and we can try the features. Pressing one of the menu items sends its text to the touchpad and the desktop. Either system can process the message and perform a task. On the first menu, you can see there's 2 features. One to set the status light red and the other to return it to green. Let's press them. Okay, we can reach the second menu by pressing the navigation bar on the right-hand side. The second menu demonstrates a custom shape for buttons. Since this is a menu with more items than can be seen, it can scroll. Let's show that. If we select an item, we can return it to the top. Let's move on to the third menu. The third menu demonstrates the functions that are available on the ESP32, which currently are time and gyro. The time button will display the current time, and the gyro button will run the IMU function, which displays the acceleration and gyroscope values. Let's move on to the final menu. The final menu demonstrates invoking apps on the desktop. For example, we can click the calc button. It will send the calc message to the desktop. Let's show the calculation that showed up. There's the calculator. The menu is a simple text file. The system consists of Python code that can be easily edited on the desktop and MicroPython code that can be easily edited on the ESP32. All features are invoked from a single function within each of those programs. Of course, if you prefer, you can run the code only on the ESP32. Well, that's the demo for now. We'll show more later. As this channel covers multiple small system solutions over time, please subscribe to stay informed and click like, as that really helps. The integrated display consists of an ST7789 capacitive touch display that is 240 by 280 pixels. The ESP32-S3 N16R8 microcontroller ensures you have plenty of space to load drivers and programs. The device includes an embedded IMU, so if you are moving, then you can monitor and track your roll and pitch directional movements. Since the device is small and light, you can attach it to a spare USB port on a desktop or laptop. We found a great 3D printed case, which we modified with FreeCAD to include a 5mm support stand underneath the case, which levels it when attached to our laptop. So now it's sturdy enough to handle our finger presses. We configured the display driver using the ESP32 pins for the display, touch, and IMU functions of the device. We wrote the menu program using VS Code Editor and Thony. We also use Thony to download the driver files and the menu profile text file to the flash drive. Finally, we tested our program on Thony. We modified the ST77XX Pi driver with this model and pixel resolution. We found a CS816 touch driver in one of the demo zip files from WaveShare in March. At the time, the driver required additional code, which we've added to accommodate different screen orientations. We found the touch display works best in portrait mode. When the device is attached to a laptop, portrait mode is the best orientation anyway. The device includes an embedded IMU sensor. The sensor measures the gyroscope and acceleration values of the device, which are useful to know the device's current pitch and roll direction. We Googled and found MicroPython code that provides reasonable-looking data values, though we did not calibrate them. So what is in the display driver? Well, it typically consists of these 5 items: the SPI and/or the I2C communication pins, the display type, its control pins and orientation, the touchscreen type, its control pins and orientation, and finally, code for InDev. InDev configures our touchscreen and integrates touches with the LVGL widgets. We found the device pin assignments at the WaveShare website. After entering them, we used Thony to test the display by running test button 3_display from our desktop. The screen design is rather simple and consists of 4 objects. Rather than 4 static GUI pages, we designed a single screen whose content will be updated dynamically using a simple text menu profile. You can edit this content as you desire. The first integer is the page number. As you change the page number, the latest menu is inserted into the screen's title, and each menu item becomes a labeled button in the card screen area. To left and right side of the card are navigation buttons that decrement or increment the current page number. The first item in the list is the title, and the items that follow are the button menu items. For a particular menu, the screen only has room for 3 buttons. So if there are more than 3 items, then the card becomes scrollable. Functions to be performed are either on the ESP32 or the desktop. Keystrokes are monitored on both the ESP32 device and the desktop program. Every button is attached to the button callback routine. That routine simply gets the text value of the button and then performs that specific function. Anything not performed by the ESP32 is allowed to pass through to the desktop program. So similar if statements in the desktop program will then perform desktop commands. When we first use the code, it's best to try the auxiliary test programs in Thony. We typically run the test button 3 program first and use it to confirm the touchscreen features. Let's do that. Okay, that's the test button 3 program. Although it works for all display orientations, this device really prefers the portrait mode. Since it has a nice shiny display, we can also run our test clock program. It tells us we can perform a down function. If you do that, a down gesture will bring in the date time. All right, let's reset the computer. Finally, we could even run the menu program from Thony. So let's do that. Running it this way will display the messages in the Thony shell. By the way, you might want to write down the COM port used by Thony to the ESP32 device, as we'll need this in a minute. As you can see here, our device is running on COM port 15. Your COM port may be different. Let's try some of the features. Even though we can run one of the functions from the PC app, since it's not currently connected to the desktop, that just displays the message in Thony. What we did is to add a serial communication between the desktop system and the ESP32. We will upload this menu MicroPython code to our ESP32 flash drive, as you can see we've already done. So at this point, we must close Thony. So let's stop the app. We'll use a reset, and we're going to completely close Thony because otherwise it captures the serial port, and we'll need that for our other system. Now, we want to open a command prompt on our desktop. Okay, let's disconnect our smart touchpad, and we'll reconnect it. Now it's ready for the desktop program to connect. We want to CD to the directory where we're storing the desktop program. This is where I've stored it on my computer. Yours might be different. Now we simply want to call the program. We do that by typing Python space our program name and then provide the COM port. And this will run the program. You know you're ready when the desktop program responds that it has the RTC successfully synchronized. What that means is the PC has sent time to the ESP32, and now we can run any of the functions that you can see on the smart touchpad. And it's going to continue to work just as we've shown before. When the code attempts to connect to the ESP32 device, if you get an error, your COM port might be wrong. Okay, and that's the demo. Here is the desktop Python program. The file is copied to your desired location. There must be a recent version of Python 3 on the desktop. On our desktop, we used Anaconda Python virtual environments. Before using it, make sure to pip install PySerial. Now let's look at the code. First, do menu.py. As you'll see, it has less than 60 lines. Around line 40, you can see the serial port response. Here we have if statements that invoke programs on the desktop. Simply add or remove programs. Now let's look at the menu.py. It has over 300 lines of code. However, most of these are to provide the LVGL GUI widgets or styling. Around line 240 is the code of similar if statements. Of course, these handle functions on the ESP32. Simply add or remove ESP32 programs. And that's it. We hope you liked this project and find some way to use it soon. Thank you for listening.